again, quilters. Welcome back to my channel, Pages and Stitches. That's spelled pages, the number 3 stitches. My name is Kelly, and I'm happy to bring you my April update, my April Quilters Corner update, finally. Today is May 6th? May 7th? May 6th. It's May 6th. So I'm a little delayed in bringing you my updates for the month of April. If you watched my floss tube video, then you'll know it's because I had some personal emergencies I had to take care of regarding my health. Fortunately, I kind of got everything figured out and ironed out. And anyways, if you want a little bit more information on that, then go watch my floss tube video for April. If you are new here, welcome. Thank you so much for giving my channel a try. This is a quilting update, but like I mentioned, I also do floss tube videos. So if you found me by chance and you are interested in quilting, then you're in the right place. But if you also have an interest in cross stitching, which obviously there's a lot of crossover between those two hobbies, then definitely go give my floss tube videos a try. This is my quilters update number 18. I'm very excited. I'm getting closer to the 20s, and that's super fun. And in spite of the craziness of my last month, April was a banana sandwich for me. Just absolutely nuts. I still did manage to get a lot of good stuff to share with you today, so I'm pretty excited about that. Again, apologies for the delay. Life doesn't take my filming schedule into consideration. If you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back, especially to watch these quilting videos. They are a lot less popular on YouTube. I know there are people out there who have expressed that they wish to see more of them, so hopefully all those little hidden quilting content seekers end up here in some form or fashion. And then if this is your first time checking me out, I really hope you enjoy. Feel free to ask questions, leave comments, say hi down below. Like I said, this is also my handle for Instagram. You can reach out to me there, send me a private message, leave comments. I do post a lot of updates there in addition to quilting and cross stitching. That's also where like my just life stuff is posted. So we can totally be friends there too. And then I do have my email account listed below. So if you want to reach out to me that way, you can do that too. And everything else in the description box is a link to everything I can possibly find a link for that I mention in my videos. So if you hear me talk about something you might be interested in or see something you like, definitely check the description box. And if you still can't find what you're looking for, shoot me a comment and I'll try and get you an answer. Alrighty, so just like with my floss tube videos, I like to start these with the reading update for what I've read for the past month. Like I said, I had a rough month, so I was in need of some serotonin, and I really didn't want to think too hard while I was reading. So I just read garbage, and I'm not sorry about it. So all of the books that I've read, I don't actually have physical copies of because I read them all on my Kindle app. And so I'll insert a picture here of the 4 books that I managed to read. I read the last 3 of Gemma Weir's Montana Mountain Men series, which is just ridiculous, but I love it. It was so stupid, but it was so great. And then I followed that up with a hockey romance called Axel by Samantha Whiskey. And I realized after I started reading that book that was actually a sequel series. And so finished it, and I'm gonna go back and read the prequel series before I keep going with this one. Again, I have no regrets. Okay, so let's get to the quilting. I'm really excited to show you what I've worked on because I have not one, but 2 fully finished objects to show you today. A finished quilt top and a lot of really yummy, delicious purchases that I think might, A, were enabled by other people, and B, might enable you. So it's the circle of crafty life. So let's start with the finishes, okay? If you watched my 2022 wrap-up video, you will have seen the list of whips. There's a list of 6 or 7 whips that I was carrying over to this year, and I was able to knock off 2 more this time. So let's get into that. Alrighty, so I have here to show you my black and white gradient Tula Pink City Sampler 100 modern quilt blocks. So I'm gonna back up as much as possible so you can see the gradient. And of course I'll insert a picture since you can't actually see like the full thing on camera, but it's a gradient from black all the way down to the opposite corner to white. And every color of charcoal and gray and cream in the middle. And then the backing is this really cool kind of like, I think it looks like a paint swirl of black and white and gray. And then I just bound it with the same fabric. And then the quilting pattern, which is really cool, it's a gray variegated thread. And I believe the title of the quilt pattern is called Broken Glass. It's just like this really cool kind of jagged, triangular, shows up better on the white. There we go, yeah. It's just like a jagged kind of triangular broken glass look, which I really liked because none of these blocks have anything circular in them. It's all angular and modern. So I thought that would kind of be the perfect pattern to go with it. So yeah, it's finally done. I started this quilt top back in like 2017, 2018. It was a while ago. And then when I finished it, I kind of forgot about it for a really long time. So I finally got it finished. I finally purchased it back, took it to my long arm quilter, and got it done, which I'm super excited about because this is a nice one. It is a lap size. It's approximately 60 by 60, thereabouts. And because each of these blocks, each of these quilt blocks is like, I believe they're 6-inch blocks. They look like 6-inch blocks. So yeah. And there's 10 across and 10 down, 100 in total. So I believe this is a 60 by 60. And I will add it to my stash of finished quilts. I'm very excited about it. It feels awesome to check whips off my list, especially the ones that have been around forever, because I really feel like I'm accomplishing something, which I mean, I am. So every time I finish a quilt, it's like a little boost of confidence. And again, that is the 100 Modern Block City Sampler by Tula Pink. The book is available on Amazon. Obviously, I did not use Tula Pink fabrics. I don't know what came over me when I decided that I wanted to make her quilt with the exact opposite of her type of fabric, which is bright and loud and fun and bold, and I went black and white. I don't know, I was inspired, and I really like the results. So, but if you'd like to see those quilt blocks in color, check out the book and maybe you'll be inspired to do it too. Okay, you will see that I no longer have my Jelly Roll Jam baby quilts on my quilt wall because I finished those too. Look at that little stack, doesn't it look so good? So these were the last 2. I had already finished these 4. So I just had these 2 to finish, and I quilted them the same way I quilted the other ones, which is just like a straight, kind of almost like a zigzag, just going down and up each of the rows. So here's my little purple one, purple and gray. And the back, I love this fabric. Bound with the same fabric as the back. Super cute. Love that one. And then this one, which is also really cute. This is my gray with touches of blue and red. It's like a forest theme, right? We got foxes and mushrooms and owls, and very cute. And then the back is this sort of like coral red orange with just like a spot pattern, and it got bound with that same fabric. I really love the bright red border on this one because it really complements all the little foxes and creatures in the middle. Very cute. So this project, it was 6 baby quilts. I considered them all one whip because they were all the same pattern, which was the Jelly Roll Jam designed by Fat Quarter Shop. The Fat Quarter Shop has free, it's a free pattern, and they have a free YouTube tutorial on their channel for how to do this Jelly Roll Jam. And I have linked both the pattern as well as the YouTube tutorial down below. Super easy. If you have some jelly rolls lying around, this might be the perfect pattern for you. And then what I'm planning to do with all these baby quilts is donate them to the hospital system that I work for, to give out in either the NICU or the labor and delivery department. My idea is that maybe they could go to either like young mothers who are unprepared, or perhaps single mothers, or they could be given to babies going into either foster care or being adopted. I think that would be a good place for these to go home. I just had a bunch of jelly roll strips gifted to me by a friend who had good intentions of making stuff with them, and she didn't, and knew I was a quilter, so she gave them to me. And rather than let them collect dust in my quilt stash, I figured, well, I'll turn them into baby quilts. And then I didn't really know what to do with them, so I was like, let me find somewhere to donate them so that they can be put to good use. So they will get used. Once I reach out to my people and kind of coordinate that, I'll try and get some pictures so I can show you after the fact. So, what's on my quilt wall currently? It is my next finish, which is really just a quilt top finish. It's not an FFO. Last time you will have seen that I showed you this middle section that I worked on. I had acquired this jelly roll set from Joann's, and I found a pattern on Pinterest that was free and easy to figure out. So I just kind of wanted to experiment. I found that and the jelly roll strips at the same time, so it just worked out that I did this pattern. But I didn't know what to do with it because it ended up kind of a smaller size. So what I did was I went back to Joann's, where I got the jelly roll strips, found a fat quarter bundle of the same fabric, and then I got some complementing other fabrics. So this is a metallic gold swirl. I just did a 2-inch border around that. This is 4.5 inch border with the fat quarter bundle, and then this is a nice big 6-inch border of just a tone on tone black swirl, which kind of, you know, complements the gold one. And so the finished size is about I didn't write it down. It was like 62 by 67, something like that, 65 maybe. So still a lap size, and it's done. And I like it so much better now that I have it, you know, bigger, and it's not just, I didn't know what to do with this. There were suggestions of turning it into a baby quilt, turning it into a pet quilt, using it as like a bed topper, but I wasn't really all that into any of those ideas, so I just made it bigger. So since it's over here on the wall and you can't really see it, I will insert a picture and some close-ups of what the material looks like and what the whole thing looks like. This pattern is super easy. Literally all I did was take 4 jelly roll strips and stitch them together in a long set, full strips, and then cut 60 degree triangles out, and then alternate them and sew them back together. Super easy. I did want to show you a few of the rulers in my stash that you can use. If you have any ruler that has the 60 degree line on it, or has the ability to shape 60 degree triangles, use that. I mean, technically you don't even need that. As long as you use the 60-degree line on your cutting mat, you can just use your regular straight ruler. But if you do want to make it a little bit easier on yourself, I wanted to show you a couple of rulers that might make that easier. So I have, this is the one I used on this quilt. This is the Creative Grids 60-degree diamond ruler that was designed by Krista Moser. This one will cut diamonds, triangles, it will cut hexagons, and then it will also cut these 90-degree kind of half triangles. So this one's really versatile. I like this one a lot, and I used it on this one, but I also have this ruler, which is the Super Sidekick by Jaybird Quilts. And you can see the shapes it will cut. So it'll still do a diamond, a 60-degree triangle, and then those little half triangles with the 90-degree corner. And then based on whether you have the ruler face up or face down, that'll cut either side with the 90-degree corners facing in either direction, if that makes sense. So like if you just cut all of these, in order to get them to face the other direction, the fabric has to be flipped and then it'll be on the wrong side. So instead of doing that, you would flip the ruler and then cut it that way. I hope that makes sense. If I confused you further, I apologize. But the good thing about these kinds of rulers is there's a bajillion and one tutorials on YouTube for how to use them. And I do have quite a bit of haul to show at the end, but I'm gonna show this part before I get to the end. So I did go ahead and buy yardage for the backing of this quilt, and it's this fabric right here, which is like, so these are like faux batiks. They're not real batiks because there is, let me see if I can show you. There is a wrong side. Real batiks, there really isn't a right and a wrong side, but these are kind of faux batiks, and you can see they've got the suns and the moons and the stars, and I believe, oh yeah, this one right here, it's like this color kind of hidden in there. So yeah, this quilt top is now done. It is gonna be set in my closet with Meadowland, which is the other quilt top that I have ready to be quilted, and it will wait for my next appointment. My next appointment is in June. I originally thought I was gonna take the black and white gradient one, but my long armor called me and said there was a cancellation. She was like, do you have anything? So that's why I was able to get a fully finished quilt in the meantime. So unless she calls me again for this month because of a cancellation, the next time around is in June, and that should be my Meadowland on the docket. Next, I worked a little bit more on my Cocktail Hour quilt. Cocktail Hour is this pattern here. I'm inserting a picture because my printed pattern is in black and white, but it's a free pattern on tildasworld.com, and so I'll have that link down below. Just if you haven't given her website a try, go check it out because she has a bajillion free patterns and they're all super cute. This is my second pattern I've done from her. The embroidery flower quilt was the first one I did. That was a free pattern on her website. I am not using her fabric that she used for this pattern. Instead, what I'm using is Anna Maria Horner's line Fluent. She is my absolute favorite fabric designer. I love her so much. I want to crawl inside of her fabrics and live there. They're just so pretty and so bright. So anyways, let me show you the other blocks that I was able to finish in that quilt, and then I'll insert a picture of what they all look like together because it's really starting to come along. All right, I got this one. I just love that they have their little space buns. They look like little Princess Leia's almost. So we got this floral pink one on top, and then this bright, beautiful large print here. And then if you are unaware or unfamiliar, I'm pulling their hair colors from colors in their dresses, just kind of like minor colors in their dresses. and they will all have different skin tones as well. So she's got some yellow hair, and then directly below her quilt block goes this one, this pretty lady. So she's got this beautiful sky blue pattern with these kind of like brown maroon leaves, which is where I pulled her hair color from. It's not really showing up well because it just looks dark brown, but it's actually like a deep maroon color. And so these will sit stacked on top of each other like so. So it looks like her dress is sitting behind her head. So I will, like I said, insert a picture of my little mini design wall, which is where they're hanging out right now, to show you kind of how they're all starting to come together, and it just looks so cute. I'm so excited about this quilt. So unfortunately, that's all I have in terms of whips, because most of my time was spent finishing. So I bound my Tula Pink City Sampler, and then I finished and bound those other two baby quilts, and then I finished this quilt top and worked on my cocktail hour. I don't have an update on my hexie gradient because I don't know. I didn't work on it. I didn't feel like it. But I do have some pretty good haul to show you, and so I'll go into that because it ties into my plans as well. So you may recall that I am also working on this whip here, which I will insert a picture because again, my copy's in black and white. This is a free pattern from Ruby Star Society that you can download from the Fat Quarter shop. It's called Favorite Sweater Quilt by, like I said, Ruby Star Society. I have a couple of blocks already made for that quilt, and then I just kind of walked away from the pattern for a while, but it's my next whip that I'm bringing over from my existing list to get finished soon. So I went ahead and purchased a back for it. So I've already purchased all the fabric for the top. It's this beautiful like mulberry maroon background, which is just a solid, and then the sweater fabrics are from Ruby Star Society from their woven line Warp and Weft, the original one, which unfortunately I don't think is available anymore. But I went ahead and bought this fabric here to be the back of the quilt. So you can see it's like a darker mulberry maroon color with these beautiful florals on it. So let's show them together. So we've got some pink colors and like peachy colors and brighter colors in the pink colorway in the Warp and Weft line, which complement these little flowers pretty well. So I went ahead and splurged for this because it's got the right kind of sort of maroon, sort of autumnal, autumn feel, fall feel, and it's just kind of super cute. So I've got this on standby for whenever I finish the Favorite Sweater Quilt top. And since that's my next oldest whip, that's the next one that I want to have done. So the next time I do an update, I'm going to, obviously this one won't be here, and then I'm going to put Favorite Sweater Quilt, and then if I have room, I'll move my I'll move cocktail hour over here as well. We'll see how much I get done. If you saw my last video, you may recall that I had intended to start this quilt pattern soon, which is Bauhaus by Zen Chic. It's a very like modern, just really pretty quilt. I'm not gonna use these colorways. My original intention was to use like neons, like bright neons, and then maybe like a cool gray in the background. And I had started collecting some neon colors to use, and then Amy of Fiber Arts, Amy reached out and she's like, hey, I don't know if you've seen this, but Tula Pink, who's like her favorite designer, is releasing a neon line called Everglow. So you might be interested in using that in that quilt. And I gotta say, Amy, it took all of 30 seconds of me looking at it to be like, well, that's happening. So I bought an Everglow fat quarter bundle. I have not opened it yet. I was actually waiting to do it here on video so we can look at all the pretty tulas together. Okay, so I took the ribbons off. So Everglow itself is really just these animal prints, and then she re-released her True Colors line in here with colors that match the animal prints. So it's sort of like a fusion line, but it's all meant to be coordinated. I don't intend to use the animal fabrics in the Bauhaus quilt. I really just got it for these stripes and the polka dots. Those are the two patterns that I want to use in Bauhaus. So let's look at them. Okay, so here is the purple, which is this cutie patootie giraffe. Very cute. And then the three complementing fabrics are this stripe, I don't remember the name of this print, but it's got like a bird and stars on it, which is cute. I don't want to use a bird fabric in that quilt. I just want something geometric and modern. So these are the two modern purples that I'm bringing out. Okay, next we have this darker, it's not dark at all, but it's like in the line, it's the darker pink, which is elephants. Elephants are one of my favorite animals of all time, so I love this, and I love that the elephants look like they have like floral tattoos. Isn't that cute? And then here's the complementing pinks that go with the elephant print. And again, I'm just using the polka dots and stripes for Bauhaus. And then here is the lighter of the two pinks, which is these hippos, which is super cute. And they've got these little, so there's a bird, there's butterflies, there's a little crane, just hanging out with their hippo friends. And then all the little fish in the water, or the neon. And then here are the complementing fat quarters. Birds, that's what the actual bird looks like. You couldn't see it on the other ones because they were folded up. And then stripes and dots, pulling these. I just wanted to show you the difference in the two pinks, lest you think I was crazy for calling this one the darker. Really, it's not darker. This one's more of a cool tone hot pink, and this one's a warm tone hot pink. This next one's really pretty. This is a peachy coral lion print. So the peach coral color is the neon that she used for this one. Very majestic. I love these three. These are some of my favorites in the entire line. Not only is the lion pretty, but like I just love these kind of orangey colors. Bird, these two are going in Bauhaus. So now we're doing the repeats of the prints we just saw just in the other colorways. So this one is like a bright lime green of the giraffe print. Just as cute. I love his bright blue eyes. And here is the matching fat quarters. Love it. Doesn't this truly and honestly just glow? Like, it was aptly named. So then here's the lion print again, but this time in a darker green. Oh, if you heard that thunder, it's about to rain. So if you hear growling in the background, it's thunder. Anyways, lion, he is more of a darker green colorway. And then here's the three coordinating prints. Again, bird gets pulled, stripes and dots go to Bauhaus. Now we have an aqua neon, which is the second colorway of the hippos. Like an aqua blue, turquoise blue is the neon for this colorway of the hippos. And the three coordinates, pull the bird, keep the stripes and the dots. And then the last colorway in the line is the secondary print of the, or I'm sorry, the secondary colorway of the elephants, which is a sky blue color. Very pretty. And then once again, here's the coordinates. Keep these, add these to the bird to the stash. Okay, so I'm gonna try and do this. I was never a waiter, but I'm gonna try and do this like wait staff. Here is all of the dots and the stripes that I pulled. I mean, I guess you can kind of see it. I would have made a piss poor waiter, I'll tell you that much. But I think that is a very satisfying, like highlighter-y mesh of modern prints, which is exactly what I was going for. And so this is what I'm gonna use in Bauhaus. Can you see it? I can see it. And I'm thinking I might even use more of like a dark background, maybe not black, but like a dark charcoal gray. That would be cool, I think. That would really make those neons pop. It would be very like black light reminiscent, which I think is awesome. So this is my plan, and this is the next quilt that I'm going to start, which is why I'm showing you haul and plans at the same time. This is up next to start. Now you might be distressed that I pulled out those Tula prints and the birds and are sad that I'm not going to use them. Well, never fear, friend. I will be using them, just in a different project. So for the past couple of weeks, I don't know what's come over me, but I've decided that I really, really, really want to do a sampler. I don't know why. I was just feeling it. I've seen some I've liked. I've seen others put some on Instagram and on Facebook, and I've just been like, sampler. I need to do a sampler. So I kind of shopped around for what I liked. Luckily, my mom, who is also a quilter, has a really good stash of old patterns and books and stuff to choose from that she's already made. So I went shopping in her quilt room, which is one of my favorite things to do because it's free. And I came back with a couple of sampler patterns, and I know which one I want to do now, but I'm going to show you what I got, and then we'll talk further about those Tula fabrics. So these are quilts she has already completed and currently has no intention to complete again, so I can hang on to them for a while. The first one is this pattern here. This is called Kinship, the 100 block fusion sampler, and there's 50 of these square blocks and 50 of these rectangular blocks. All together, they make 100 blocks. And you can lay them out like you see here on the cover with the sashing in between. But they give you other options in the back as well. You can also do it without sashing, or you can even do this cool pattern, which is meant to look like a plaid, which I think is really super cool. And they tell you how many to cut of each and how to lay it out. They even go so far as to give you all 100 blocks to color. So if you have a specific line you want to fussy cut, if you're not totally sure how you want to lay it out yet, you can experiment, you can color. You can make photocopies in color. I think that's pretty cool. So I'm gonna hang on to this one. I might want to make this one in the future, but this is not the one I chose for my sampler. The other one that I am stealing from her is the Fussy Cut Sampler. 48 different blocks make up this sampler. And then here is one example of a layout with them all kind of just in rows with sashing and cornerstones. Or there's this layout, which is pretty cool, where you can kind of create like an X with the background. I think that's kind of neat too. So this was another option for a sampler, especially since I'm already toying with the idea of fussy cutting, but again, I did not choose this one. Instead, what I chose is a little bit left of center. So back in the 90s, my mother made this one quilt that I absolutely adore, and it was a Christmas sampler, which was a block of the month. And Fortunately, she's a pack rat and saves everything, so I asked her if she still had those patterns, and she did. And it's this quilt here, which is called Christmas Potpourri. I believe this quilt shop no longer exists, and you know, what a bummer. So I will, if I can find it online, which I doubt, it'll be linked down below, but otherwise, this is what it looks like. And you can't really tell, but a lot of these fabrics, I mean, this is a very like high contrast version, but it's very like red and green and gold in person, which I love. And it's so like well broken in. It's such a comfy quilt, and it comes out every Christmas in their house. So let me see if I can, you see, this is a block, this is a block, this is a block, and there's 12 of them. And then there's the half square triangle border, and then the pieced border around that, which makes the full quilt. This is block 1. And then I have blocks 2 through 12 in here. So because this quilt has like smaller piecing, a little bit more of a scrappy style, and it also kind of has sentimental value, I decided that this is the quilt I want to make as a sampler. But I'm certainly not doing it as a Christmas sampler. Instead, what I'm doing is I'm taking all of those super duper bright, almost neon prints that I was originally gathering up to use in Bauhaus. And then I went through my stash and pulled more super duper bright prints, some tone on tones, all the Tulas that I have. And I'm gonna use those to make this sampler. And then I'm gonna try and fussy cut some of Tula's animals and similar prints to go in this quilt. So this is what I've pulled. This is what it looks like. Here's all the Everglows that I just pulled out, but then I did, you know, all the pinks and the oranges, yellows, green, like again, just bright, vibrant colors. And then even some blacks with bright prints and some white with bright prints. And I'm gonna fussy cut, for example, this one, which is a Tula. This is her teacups from one of her Alice in Wonderland lines, and it would be perfect because there's tons of bright colors, there's fun little motifs, so it's all in here, and it's gonna be a scrappy, happy sampler. And that one's ready to go. So that's also gonna be coming up on my to start list. So Christmas sampler, which is gonna be not Christmas. And then Bauhaus, which is going to be more of a black light look. But then of course, when I ordered Everglow, you can't just order one thing. If you order one thing, it will get lonely when it travels through the mail. So I also ordered a couple patterns. So in one of my first videos I ever did, I went through all of my quilt patterns that I have in my stash, and I have several from Elizabeth Hartman. She's one of my absolute favorite designers. I've done 3 or 4 of her quilts now. So I went immediately to her section of the website, and I added some of her quilts and her patterns to my checkout cart. One of them is back ordered, so it won't be here until the next update, so I'll just show that to you then. But in the meantime, I got robots, which is super cute. So you can use them, you can make a full-size quilt, but you can also make smaller quilts. Like this one's 48 by 48 for like a kid or a baby. Like this would be a good crib quilt or a good like floor quilt for when baby's having tummy time. So I like robots for a little boy or a little girl. You know, little girls can be into robots too. And then this other one is one of my favorite quilts that she's ever designed. It's one of her newer ones. This is the produce section. I love it so much. Again, full-size quilt, smaller. This one's 38 by 38. I love it so much. So this has, let's see, strawberry, banana, pear, cherries, peach, raspberry, orange, mango, watermelon, plum, lemon, grapefruit, apple, kiwi, cantaloupe, pineapple, and blueberries. get out of here with how stinking cute this is. I mean, look at the little blueberries, little kiwi. I just love it so much. Okay, so this is like the perfect like picnic blanket, don't you think? Like even with the gingham background, I love that. So I have no plans to start this yet, but I do love this quilt so much. So this one I'm definitely going to be making for myself, and it will definitely be one of these sizes. Like it's large. That finished size is 75 by 75. That's a good twin size quilt. That is all my stuff. So just to rehash, plans for next time is I'm gonna get favorite sweater quilts on the wall, keep going on cocktail hour. I may or may not make progress on my hexy gradient. Just I'm not giving myself a deadline for that one. I'm just kind of working on it as I desire to, so that I don't get tired of it, because it is a tedious process. And then probably start either Bauhaus or the Christmas potpourri sampler, or both. We'll see how I feel. And then I'm also going to try and get in touch with the L&D department at my hospital so I can donate the baby quilts. And yeah, that's my plans for next time. Of course, they may change. They always do sometimes, even just a little bit. So if you have any questions at all, like I said, reach out, send me a comment, send me an email, any of that. And I will see you guys next time. Happy quilting, happy crafting, be safe, be healthy. And I'll see you again at the end of May. Bye.